Peter Toreen and the Leighton Alexander Musical Theatre Academy have given an exciting new life to a favourite classic, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
We just had to see it for ourselves, and the cast and crew welcomed us backstage to see them warm up and to tell us exactly how they've done it.
Co-founder Dwayne Alexander and the entire Lambda team are giving an entertaining new twist to the Andrew Lloyd Webber hit musical.
Our vision for this production of Joseph was to make it as fresh as possible. There are a lot of people who know Joseph, who love Joseph, who've seen Joseph 5, 6, 7 times. So we wanted to make sure that they came to the theatre. They still got what they expected, but they also got a lot of what they didn't expect. And that sort of unexpected element of something really fresh, really funky, really contemporary, really modern, wonderful lighting, great sound. You can't sit there and not be enjoying yourself. And when you have all this talent and all this energy coming at you, you literally float out of the theatre.
The lead role of Joseph is played by Dylan Janse van Rensburg, a Lambda graduate whose acting journey began when he played this same role in his high school production of the musical. Now, for his professional debut, it all comes full circle.
Playing Joseph has been an absolute fantastic opportunity because it brings so much light to people with queries and questions about their dreams, and it shows that no matter what you do, you can always follow your dreams and there's a better outcome for you in the future. So being able to portray this role has been an exciting journey, especially from all the other people that have played Joseph before in their lives, like Earl Gregory, and he's one of my role models at the moment, and he's just fantastic to be able to step into his shoes. It's incredible. So to prepare myself in a physical way for this show, because it is so taxing, is I do a proper warm-up with the cast. So usually Anna Olivier, who's our dance captain, or Jaden Dixon, who's our assistant dance captain, takes us for a warm-up. And that's the part where we all get to focus as a cast. It's all the time we meet for the first time in a day, and they make sure that our bodies are nice and juiced up and ready to flow and prepare us for this rake and stage. And then I do a little bit of an extra workout because I am shirtless majority of the show, so it can't look like I've just had my avocado on toast with 4 eggs in a day. So that's what I do.
The vision of the choreography for Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is, simply put, fun and energy. It's something that's so various because I think there's so many different types of songs in the show that it calls for different styles of dance. For example, we're introducing hip hop into this production, which is something fresh and a bit edgy for audiences. Working with this cast is literally a dream come true. They're young, first and foremost, so they have got a lot of energy, and I think our take on the choreography, the new take on the choreography, and this fresh hip-hop, commercial, jazzy style that we bring to the show calls for a younger cast to deliver it, and they do. They hit the nail on the head.
Fondly known as Lambda, the Leighton Alexander Musical Theatre Academy is dedicated to nurturing talent with the focus on excellence, innovation, and diversity.
Lambda's involvement in this production is as co-producers, but also we have nurtured probably about 60% of the talent in this production. Everyone who's on that stage is professional in terms of they've graduated, have been in the industry, some of them for 5, 10 years, but the majority of the cast are young, and it's so wonderful to see all that hard work that they put into their 3 years at Lambda come to sort of fruition, and for them to be able to display their wonderful talents.
As one of the vocal coaches at Lambda, this has been a real honor for me to see so many of my students on the stage and to work with some of my really great friends from the industry. It's like being a proud mom watching all our beautiful students collaborate with new professionals in the industry. So it's been really, really special. Because there is no script for Joseph, it's an entirely sung-through musical. The voices tell the story, and so the amount of beautiful voices that we have singing this beautiful music really energizes this sound that we're trying to create.
The role of narrator is in the capable hands of Lelo Ramasmong, a seasoned performer with extensive experience in theatre, TV, and musicals.
Approaching the role of the narrator in the show has been very interesting for me Because I've never watched Joseph before, when they called me initially to audition for the narrator, I thought, oh, narrator, that's easy, right? But lo and behold, it's not easy at all. She has a lot of information that she kind of spews at the audience every second that she gets. So for me, I had to be really careful in not just making it about the information, but actually having a character. And the more I delved into the character, the more I saw myself as Joseph's ancestor, sort of in the show, because I'm there, but I'm not there. Nobody else can see me. They can only see me when I want them to see me. So I'm like this vague spiritual energy that's around them and that makes everything light up.
Actor and former top-billing presenter Christopher Jafter plays the diverse roles of Jacob, Potiphar, and the Pharaoh.
I play 3 different roles. The way I balance it is they've written it very nicely so that I have some time to kind of prep for the different roles. Jacob's more grounded, he's earthly, he is the father of all of these beautiful kids, and he's warm and one of those cool dads. And then you have Potiphar, who's this uptight, stuck-up character, and then obviously the showstopper is Pharaoh with some of the biggest songs in the show, which was the hardest character for me to actually find, because we're not trying to emulate Elvis, even though the song was written and composed in that sort of style, and you can't get away from it because Elvis is the original king of rock and roll. He made rock and roll what it was. Preparing for such quick character transitions is basically just foundations that have been laid, from my career previously. Moving from stage to film is always easier from moving from film to stage, because you have the foundations of acting from stage. It's obviously a lot bigger, a lot more out there with your movements and expressions, but the truth still remains. So it's a very tricky balance. On film, you get a lot of time to get into the zone and then perfect that one take. With theater, you've got to get in and get out. There are a couple of moments with some of my characters that are very poignant, and the reason why we've had a couple of tears and sniffles in the audience is because the moments are truthful. And so it does take a lot out of you, but you can't be running from this character, tears streaming down your face and going into Pharaoh, you know what I mean? You gotta break in and break out and then get to the next one.
Versatile director and Lambda co-founder Anton Leiting has impressed audiences worldwide with his talent on stage as well as behind the scenes.
It's incredible to be able to relook at this show sort of, 2017, so almost 10 years since I did it. Played one of the brothers and I played Pharaoh in that production. What was exciting about it is going, well, it's now 10 years later, there's a new generation of youngsters out there who haven't seen the show, and there is a license to play around a little bit in terms of how it's staged and to contemporize it and to put in sort of contemporary references that people find funny, because for me, there's a lot of humor in Joseph. And yes, there is a biblical element, but there's also, for those people that aren't as religious, there's a spiritual element to the show. So one kind of went, well, in 2025, if you think of a youngster's perception of entertainment nowadays, that's fast-moving, pacey movies, how does one adjust this timeless classic to be something that entertains a youngster in 2025? And this production does it all. It entertains 8-year-olds to 80-year-olds. It really does have a lot of meaning to some people, so you can't lose that authenticity, that message, that beautiful aspect that resonates with people, but you can also at the same time play around with some of the comedy and stuff. So you walk a sort of fine line, and you've got to be able to connect the dots.
Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat is on now at the Theatre on the Bay in Cape Town, moving to the Peter Terrene Theatre in Monte Casino in Johannesburg from July to mid-September.
This is a production you should try to get to see. It'll make you feel happy and excited about South Africa's wealth of youthful theatrical talent.
Absolutely, Ayanda, and as a thespian myself, that looks so entertaining, I can't wait to grab a ticket.